Testing a Class 1 appliance. Welcome to this First Stop Safety video. This video module goes through the process of testing a Class 1 appliance. We'll show you how to conduct an earth continuity and insulation resistance test on a variety of Class 1 appliances. Basics of a Class 1 test. There are two tests that are carried out on a Class 1 appliance. One is the earth continuity test, and the other is the insulation resistance test. Earth continuity. Class 1 appliances are designed to have an earth connection. The earth wire connects the metal frame of the electrical appliance to ground. The purpose of the earth connection is that in case of an insulation failure in an appliance, this wire connected to the metal body will provide a path for the current to flow directly to the ground. In the absence of an earth wire, the current would have flown through the body of the user. The purpose of this test is to check that there is a good connection between the earth pin on the plug and the case of the appliance. Insulation resistance. The insulation resistance test ensures that there is adequate insulation between the live parts of the appliances and the user-touchable metal parts of the appliances. A high level of resistance means that very little current is flowing through the insulation. On the other hand, a low level of resistance indicates a significant amount of current may be leaking across the insulation. The test. On some testers, these tests are carried out separately by pressing different buttons. On others, they are done one after the other when a single button is pressed. We are going to use a tester that does the latter. When carrying out the Class 1 PAT test, it is always good to remember the three steps: plug in, clip on, and switch on before carrying out the tests. The conventional way to carry out the test is to plug the appliance into a PAT tester and clip the test lead to a suitable metal part that is connected to earth. When the earth continuity test is done, if the resistance measured is low enough, then there is good earth connection and the appliance is considered safe. When the insulation resistance test is done and there is more than 1 megaohm resistance between the live and neutral pins and earth pin of the plug, then there is adequate insulation and the appliance is considered safe. Here you can see an earth continuity test on a kettle. As you can see, the kettle fails the earth continuity test, and it is not safe to use this appliance. Turning appliances on. Don't forget to always have the appliance switched on when carrying out a PAT test. There is a danger that if appliances are not switched on, then some faults might not be picked up. Of course, not all appliances have a power switch. For example, a PC has an electronic switch and cannot really be switched on prior to a test. When testing a toaster, make sure that the lever is kept down during the test. When testing an iron, make sure to turn the thermostat to maximum to make sure it is on. Class 1 plastic appliances. When carrying out the earth continuity test, it is important to clip onto an earthed metal part. However, on some Class 1 appliances, this is not possible. This plastic fan is an example of this. You can see that the motor is completely covered in plastic. If you cannot connect to an earth, then the appliance will fail this test. This would be an issue, as this is a perfectly safe appliance. The way to test this Class 1 plastic appliance is to just do the insulation resistance test and see if this is a pass. Note that a kettle is not a Class 1 plastic appliance, as you can get an earth on the element. Testing IT equipment. It is important to take care when conducting the test on IT equipment that under no circumstances must a current higher than 200 milliamps or 0.2 amps be used. Any higher current may cause the appliance to be permanently damaged. Some testers use a 10 amp or 25 amp current for the earth continuity test and should not be used to test IT equipment. The tester shown here is completely safe to test IT equipment with. Earth connection problems. When carrying out the Class 1 test, it's important to get a good earth connection. If not, you can get a fail on a perfectly good appliance due to paint, rust, or other substance covering the metal. A test lead with a pointed probe is useful to make a contact with a metal surface in difficult-to-access places, such as recessed screws, or break through paint or rust to the metal. Testing 110-volt appliances. 110-volt appliances are often used on construction sites. In order to test this, you will need a pat tester with a 110-volt socket. Alternatively, you can use an adapter like the one shown here with a normal pat tester. Using this adapter, you can carry out a test on a 110-volt appliance as shown here. Testing RCDs. RCD stands for Residual Current Devices. These devices are primarily used to protect you from an electrical shock. They need to be tested for earth continuity and insulation resistance. No polarity tests are required here. The easiest way to get an earth connection is by using a plug adapter as shown here. Pat testing adapters. Here are some of the adapters available for testing Class 1 appliances. In summary, the earth continuity and insulation resistance tests need to be carried out on a Class 1 appliance. There are adapters available to suit different types of appliances.